Please welcome a very special guest, the founder and CEO of Humans of Bombay, Karishma Mehta. People want to know how you do it. So the question of the hour is, what's your take on love?
My God.
Have you ever had a crush on a guest?
Yeah. I was crushing so hard.
If someone would be the CEO of Humans of Bombay for a day.
The male perspective, it's a hyper women-driven organization. Got up, he said, "Hi, I'm MS." I was like, oh my God, I forgot to introduce myself. Half the podcast was watching him. You know who you look at celebrities and you idolize and say that they would be on a pedestal?
Yeah.
Actually, they're never on a pedestal.
Across all these like 200 podcasts, I'm telling you, every celebrity manifests. Even the one you would never in your life imagine.
If we had $1 for every time someone said manifestation, we would never need funding in our life. Has any guest ever made you anxious?
Prime Minister's interview.
Walk us through your day when something like this happens.
When you started Humans of Bombay, did you think 11 years later we'd be here?
This is your chance. Karishma is on camera. You can ask for a leave. You can ask for a break.
He was just like, you're gonna get kidnapped.
When did you feel that perception changed? Like then people were like, oh, she's actually built something.
I think the first time
No, but on a serious note, is it scary?
it is. It's too public. It's just like you have to be okay with the garbage sometimes people just say and मेरा क्या पता.
Rapid fire questions.
Most rocking segment. There are two rules. You have to be rapid and there has to be lots of fire.
Wow, I never thought of that.
Your favorite rumor about yourself?
That I'm dating another.
करिश्मा, आपने इतने बड़े-बड़े इंटरव्यूज किए हैं, हम उन्हें कब लेके आ रहे हैं?
If Humans of Bombay was a movie, who would play Karishma Mehta?
So you have interviewed so many people from Bollywood. So did you get any offer from them?
Would you consider it?
What is your favorite form of Sasti Masti?
What does that mean? Like I'm very stressed about people seeing my YouTube history.
For 2024, it's a wrap. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, for the final podcast of 2024, please welcome the founder and CEO of Humans of Bombay, Karishma Mehta. You like our office?
I love your office. It reminds me of the intern office.
Yeah. If there is one comment we've gotten from every guest in the last year is, this is the intern office.
Yeah.
Alright, so Karishma, I'm going to begin with something heavy. Alright? You've been in the industry for more than a decade. You've built a business. You've figured out how to convert a social media page into a profitable running business with more than 40 employees. Your own personal brand on social media is popping. People want to know how you do it. So the question of the hour is, what's your take on love?
My God. You know when you know, you know.
If we could all take a shot every time someone said that on
You
our
know when you
podcast.
know. Please don't ask me about love. You can ask Tuti. She seems to be having.
Really?
Yeah. No?
Yeah, I mean, when
scared.
someone makes you feel comfortable, stable,
You can't
secure.
copy paste what I say on my solo podcast. Tuti.
No, I mean, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Okay, no, but on a very serious note, genuinely now, more than 2 years, right? More than 180 episodes, 3 shows, running a channel, bootstrapping it, more than 1 million subscribers. What has the journey been like from in that conference room where you were sitting with the employees and you watched the trailer of your first podcast to today manifesting guests like the Chief Minister, the Defense Minister, some of the biggest names in Bollywood business? What has YouTube been like for you?
So I think it was a very spontaneous decision to begin YouTube. I think Shivam said that let's do it. So we sat there and we said, okay, cool, let's do it. And it was in our old office. We had immediately a shoot coming up, which was for Divya Gokulnath from Byju's.
Right.
And we were like, for the first time, we said, okay, we won't do a reel. Let's just do a podcast.
Yeah.
And that's how the first shoot happened. And then for the first season or the first lineup, the trailer that happened, we had Divya, we had Amir Khan,
Yeah.
we had Anupam Mittal, we had Gauranga Das,
Right.
Deepa Khosla, Harsh Mariwala sir, and this was our opener, and Harsha Bhogle, who was
Yeah.
our first ever episode on Humans of Bombay.
True.
So I think that, you know, sometimes when you're naive and don't think too much of how will this make money, how will it kind of generate views, will
Yeah.
people watch, when you actually don't have that blueprint, it actually works out better because we didn't have a plan. We just
Yeah.
waited these episodes, and when we launched our episodes, our subscribers were at like 100,000 of inactive subscribers. I
Yeah.
don't know who those people. I don't even know if it was 100,000.
Yeah.
How much was it, Shiva? 5,000. Oh, sorry, 5,000.
5,000, wow.
Subscribers, and I remember Harsha Bhogle's episode when we launched. It was refreshing, like literally every minute, and it was crazy. It was like 1,500 views in the first like 45 minutes. Okay, which is amazing for anybody who follows YouTube. So it just happened because of that. So the biggest thing that actually taught me is that sometimes you shouldn't overthink it and then go with the flow. And today YouTube contributes to more than 50% of our revenue at Humans of Bombay. So yeah.
Fantastic.
I have a question
Yeah.
to this. How did the name come up? Like
How the hell did I do it? I do it.
Yeah, how the hell did I do it?
How the hell did I do it?
There were 5 options, I think. There was a poll
What
that
were
was
the
sent
options?
on the group and
On Team HOB.
on
Yeah.
Team HOB, and we had to choose. And I think majority chose how the hell did I do it.
What were
I
the
don't
options?
remember the other options,
What
but
were the other options? Shivam, you should really been on this. Yeah.
It's funny how all our decisions,
Yeah.
ये करना है या नहीं करना है, इसका नाम क्या होना चाहिए, what should the next move be, is all democratic.
Yeah.
People selected and then हाँ, अभी ये कर रहे हैं.
Yeah.
And the most
Fantastic.
random options get selected.
No, but how's it been like? Like, has YouTube changed you as an entrepreneur? Is your outlook to content changed? Are you looking at things differently now in terms of short form content on Reels versus your long form content in podcasting? Now that everybody wants to do a podcast, what has that been like?
Yeah, I think that I like YouTube far more now. Like, and I also consume content on YouTube, which used to not happen earlier. But I think in terms of quality content, it provides an amazing platform to actually have conversations, which is
Yeah.
what Humans of Bombay is about. And you
Yeah.
can't convey everything in 30-second reels or 500 words. So I think YouTube has been like a game changer. But you're right. Like you had given me the stat, right? 9 lakh podcasts were registered
Yeah.
in I think 2023
Yeah.
in India. So if you're able to be on the top of our game, even a little bit in those 9 lakh podcasts that are there, and it's like long traditional conversations, I think
Yeah.
we're adding value to people's lives. So yeah.
Very true, very true. And I think we see that also in our community, the way it's built, right?
Yeah.
Rashi had a very, very important question when it came to your YouTube guests.
So I'm going to ask you a very serious question now. We've done what, almost 200 podcasts?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a crush on a guest?
Like I said.
Sushmita Sen.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was crushing so hard on her. I remember everybody wanted a photo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
wanted a group photo for
Yeah.
this. Everyone was like, no, we will take individual photos. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I get it. I feel
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what about a guy crush? Like a crush? Have you ever been like blinded by someone's hotness?
I know one. No, I have my top 3.
Okay, who's your top 3? You say.
My number 1 is Vivek. Bro, when he walks in
Vivek?
with the fibroid.
She's on first name basis with all our guests now.
Okay, fine. Vivek, right?
Then second would be, I think Laksh. He was just like,
He's so sweet, Bachara, don't traumatize him.
third was King. And I think number 1 is going to come, which I can't say.
True. No,
That one I'll host that one.
Yeah. Okay, you can take it. No, it's okay. You can host it. I'll watch. Poor guy. He'll just be like, bye.
One on one.
No, but has there been a guest whose aura is like, of course, Sushmita Sen, I remember when she walked into our room,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
automatically
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
stood up.
Yeah.
It was
Even Vidya
something in
Balan.
the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Vidya
changed,
Balan.
it shifted, she commanded respect, but in like a good way, like you
Yeah.
wanted to give it to her. Who else like that? Like the aura spoke to you in the podcast or after?
I think even Shikhar Dhawan was fun. Like he was very
Yeah.
relaxed.
True.
You know, and didn't make too many qualms. That's always nice, right? Like
Yeah.
he just walks in and says,
Yeah.
like, let's shoot types.
Correct,
You know? So
correct.
yeah, he was a good one. Who else? I'm trying to think. We shoot so much.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like everybody has their little. I mean, Dhoni, of course.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He introduced
Yeah.
himself and said, "Hi, I'm MS." I was like, this introduction was really necessary in my life. Yeah, that was. I mean, of course, Dhoni.
Also, like we get like multiple Bollywood stars just walking in and out of the office like multiple times a week, right? But the ones who don't have that, you know, that glamour factor, like they don't come with a tribe of people like Imran Khan, how he just like
Arshad
came,
Varsi.
Arshad
Yeah.
Varsi,
Ratna Pathak.
Ratna
Yeah.
Pathak
Oh, yeah.
Shah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I love those ones who just, you know, they don't have, like you can relate to them. They don't have that, oh, I'm better than you factor.
Yeah,
That's
we remember
really nice.
Arshad Rasi walked in. It
Yeah.
was rainy season. यहाँ छाते पड़े हुए थे. हम छाते उठा के रख रहे हैं. Arshad Rasi just walking like हाँ कोई बात नहीं.
15 to 20 minutes before time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Because
is
I was
very
sitting
rare.
right there and he entered and I'm like, oh, some guy. And then I saw it's him and then he was just randomly standing at the door.
I mean, we all thought it's just someone
Yeah,
who's
someone
come.
else.
And then we realized it's Arshad Varsi. He had that gold chain and the black, like,
He
Yeah.
did not
so
come in a
cool.
gold chain. That's his movie, ka, that image that you have.
He was wearing a
Yeah.
black shirt. He was wearing a normal black shirt.
Yeah.
He had a bag and like a black
He
shirt.
did not wear a gold chain. I'm very certain.
then I got confused.
Yeah.
Oh man. But do you think any of these people, we were wondering this, you know, do you think anyone, if for a day you had to make someone, you know, the Nayak thing, right? Take my place for a day. If someone would be the CEO of Humans of Bombay for a day, given all your experiences on the podcast, you think anyone could do that? Or you would want to give the reins to someone like that? Run it for a day, I want to see what you do with it.
A lot can go wrong in a day.
We know that.
But I think it would be interesting, like if I gave it to Raj Shamani to see what he would do differently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like because I think that
Interesting.
Yeah.
he runs operations at Figuring Out and
Yeah.
his podcast very differently. Figuring Out is his podcast, House of X very differently.
Yeah.
So I just want to see what does he do that's different. Because it's also male perspective. It's a hyper women-driven organization, and it would be nice
Yeah.
to have his perspective on things.
Sorry, you have to cut. I always wanted to say this in a podcast.
So you said, right, that we shoot so much. Like literally there's probably 2 shoots a day as well sometimes. After shooting so much, who's that one person that you're waiting to shoot with now? Like you're waiting to shoot.
So there are many.
No, one, you have to give one only. You can choose
Only one?
Yes.
Virat Kohli.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. We know.
We know. Yeah, I think that. So I had that moment with Dhoni because
yeah.
I've also
Yes,
waited
yeah.
to shoot with him since 2011.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that I knew I was going to start a podcast in 2011, but you know, just like
Meeting
like
him
I want to
and-
meet him or like just to be around greatness, right? So when we were chatting and I was asking him about love, I was like, wow. And the best part is you just learn through absorption around these people, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not even the conversation, it's how they behave, it's what they say. The fact that like I walked up to stage, I was the last person to enter on stage on the panel, and he got up and he said, "Hi, I'm MS," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I forgot to introduce myself in the. So then, and then half the podcast I was watching him, you know, because like,
What do you say?
what do you say? But Yeah, Virat Kohli.
Virat
Yeah.
Kohli.
I think that's also one of the perks, unspoken perks of working at Humans of Bombay is when you are sitting in these podcasts, all of us have learned so much by being around these
For
guests,
sure.
Yeah.
the way they handle themselves. And the biggest celebrities will always be the most chill and nice and humble,
Yeah.
and they leave you in complete
For sure.
awe of how they are and how they kind of,
Yeah.
put themselves up. Yeah. So I think that's a fantastic thing.
I have a question building on that.
Hmm.
So you said you've been around greatness
Yeah.
a lot.
Thank you.
And everyone,
It's a great, don't worry.
everyone in this office can relate to like what it feels like to just have a random like A-list celebrity just walk in casually, say hi, check in on them and leave.
Yeah.
But like for our audience, like what is it like to be around greatness? Like what does it feel like?
It's very, it's a mix, Sometimes I just feel like a lot of gratitude that the career has brought me to this point.
Yeah.
But on most times, it's just that, who you look as celebrities and you idolize and say that they would be on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Actually, they're never on a pedestal. They always are the nicest, most genuine people. And I think that just teaches you a lot about humility.
Yeah.
And being a certain way despite being a personality or despite being so overly accomplished.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like we've all learned something or the other from all these celebrities.
Yeah.
What have
Yeah.
you done?
Give us a Gen Z tone down on this.
I think like when I first started here, like I would not believe in things like manifestation. I didn't even bother to like, consider it as a part of something that I need to know. But then like across all these like 200 podcasts, I'm telling you, every celebrity manifests. Even the one you would never in your life imagine. And everyone believes that they wanted to reach this level of greatness since when they were not celebrities, and they achieved it through manifestation. And now I believe in it.
And now she manifests the thing at every hour.
Yeah. It changes
That's
every
true.
hour.
And I think it's the most used word in this office.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all manifest.
Yes.
Yeah. Take a shot every
That's very
time
true.
someone says manifestation.
If we had $1 for every time someone said manifestation, we would never need funding. That is how much. But has any guest ever made you anxious? Like you were nervous before a podcast and you knew you put in the prep, but there's something in you that just not sitting right, or for whatever reason, not intimidated, but like made you anxious.
I think before the Prime Minister's interview, I was a little like,
Oh yeah.
what am I going to say? Or should I say? You always think there's imposter syndrome, that you don't know what to say. So yeah, I was definitely nervous. I was also nervous to meet Mr. Tata and his stray dog Goa.
Yeah.
I have a pet. Like I have like massive anxiety with pets. Like not pets, like dogs. I get really scared, and he has a pet. So I was
Yeah.
like, this will go really badly. Yeah, I think these two I was really nervous.
Yeah. Walk us through your day when something like this happens. What do you do for people like, this is basically a big moment in your life, one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
So how do you prep for a moment like this? What's going on in your mind? How do you calm yourselves down? How do you prepare yourselves?
Things just need to be in order. Like if something random comes up last minute, it throws you off your game for sure. So, and I think that's not just in like podcasting, if you have like a big pitch or if you have a presentation or like whatever, right? Like something last minute is always nerve-wracking, because then you have to figure out, oh my God, what am I going to do, right? So we've had guests who last minute, like
Every
the team,
guest you meet?
yeah, the last minute the teams are like, oh, we can't discuss this,
Yeah.
or like discuss this,
Yeah.
or
3 hours
can
late,
we discuss this, or like multiple hours late, and
Yeah.
then you've accounted for 2 shoots, and then the second one is delayed, and then we're here, like we sat here once all of Sunday,
Oh, yeah.
fun, and the shoot began at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
No,
10
p.m.
10 p.m.
And
Northern घंटे late था बस.
yeah,
only.
yeah, on
If
a
you're
Sunday.
watching, you know who you are.
Yeah, yeah. So we've had fun experiences.
Yeah. So your advice is have your routine set and
Yeah.
try and stick to it.
Yeah, just try to stick to it, and everybody should try to stick to their order of business so that there's no confusion anywhere.
Fair.
And you know, when you started Humans of Bombay almost 11 years back, it started on Facebook, right? It was just a Facebook post. Did you think 11 years later we'd be here?
No, I was just doing what I love, and I used to really enjoy listening to other people's stories. That's it. And that time Instagram was like, who's gonna post on Instagram?
Yeah, it was just
It's
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah. And then now it's like YouTube. Now it's like there's just so many different evolutions. But like I think if the storytelling as an art is never gonna go away.
Yeah.
So that's for certain.
Yeah.
True.
And you
think
know,
that's what-
2024, sorry.
That's what we're all made of also, I
Yeah.
think, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, in 2024, it's been a monumental year. The amount of work that we've done and the projects that we've launched is insane.
Yeah.
So for you personally, what was the proudest moment for you this year?
It's really funny, but, or like really, I don't know, it has nothing to do with anything. But I think when we put up the impact wall in the office, I was just like, money can't buy this. There's like, it's a miracle that we're able to change lives. And the people who are up on that wall, forevermore, right? We're a part of their story.
Yeah.
How do you put a price to that? It's not a business. I just don't like. Of course, you know, we have the aspect. It is a business. we have a great sales team and all of that. But like, it's so much more.
Yeah, this is definitely so much more
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah. Like if you see just the faces, I know anybody who walks into office also looks
Yeah.
at that number and says,
Yeah.
"Wow,
Yeah.
like you guys have touched the lives of so many people,"
Yeah.
and we continue to do it. It's in our goals. It's in our KRA to ensure that in any capacity that we can, we help people. So it's not just crowdfunding, or it's not just like something big, right? Even in the smallest of ways, like when we do certain local vendors who are selling small things on the road, and there's a lot that goes on in their lives. Like you see them on the road, and what really is frustrating is that people bargain with these people, and it like really like just irks me to no extent. But they have so much going on in their lives, and when we put like a simple phone number or like GPay, they get like upwards of like 1 lakh rupees of just people in the community who donate because a story has touched their heart. So
Yeah.
that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever go? Do you ever go in a place in your head where you sit down and you're like, we built this, or I built this and we're here? Does that ever happen?
I don't know. It just happens sometimes so often that it's like I felt that when I saw the Realign set for the first time. I was like, wow, I can't believe we used to like really struggle to shoot.
Yeah, find
We used to find
cafes.
cafes,
Yeah.
and like there used to be like if you listen to the Gaur Gopal Das ji episode, there's like proper banging of utensils that's happening because it was a restaurant, and they were like, "You can shoot your podcast. My work inside is not going to stop."
Correct.
So like from hunting for locations to like really struggling to figure out how this works, like having a studio that's like this pretty, and I believe like one of the best studios in the country, and I really think it matches global standards,
Yeah.
and we've created it in-house. Again, Shivam, who I will not give credit to because you didn't join the fan.
He's
But,
behind the
it was-
camera,
It
guys.
was an amazing moment, yeah.
True, very true. And I think the only ones who are utilizing 3 sets in one.
Yeah.
I think people
Oh,
find that
yeah.
fascinating. We're shooting 3 podcasts in the
Yeah.
same space.
Same
We
space,
just keep
yeah.
moving things around. That's pretty cool as well. Nice. At this point, does the audience want to ask anything? This is your chance. Karishma is on camera. You can ask for a leave. You can ask for appraisals. I'm just kidding.
Hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, maybe. You've built a massive brand over the span of 11 years. What do you think you've done differently than the rest in the business right now?
I think I've been like extremely delusional about a lot of things because I just think it'll work out, you know, and sometimes that's not good. But I really think that as we've gone year to year and the business kind of like evolved into what it is today, I think just adapting, right? Like we always listen like, okay, this is not working, let's just do it differently. Like, we have so many conversations around what to do better. And this is like with every department, right? Like, what is it that we can do better? Or like, what's just not working, let's not do it anymore. And I think that the one thing is like just having a little bit of naivety and like not always being about the numbers. But the second is just being fluid and like saying, okay, ho jayega.
Perfect. Thank you.
Auto has a question.
Ho jayega is our office tagline.
Yeah.
It's the office
Motto,
Humans of Bombay,
tagline
ho
also.
jayega.
Yeah.
Hi Karishma, we all, and I say this for everyone who's in office right now, we love what we do. And it's a great opportunity to be here, build ourselves with you, mentoring us at all points. But 11 years down the line, if you had to give today an advice to the 21-year-old Karishma who started Humans of Bombay, and like you said, it was one Facebook post that began it, it was one story that began it. 11 years later, if there was one advice that you'd tell her, what would that be?
I would actually say, like, keep doing what you're doing. I've never applied to a corporate job in my life. So I was actually really working hard to create something. And at that time, there were a lot of questions because it was just a Facebook page. Like, how is this ever going to make money? What do you actually do? You know? And that time I used to be really worried and really stressed because like my best friends from college, one of them was studying for her, like she was doing her master's. The other one had landed a 6-figure job at JP Morgan in London. And I was at home. I was literally at home. And that time, you know, it's not as cool as it is now, which like, okay, I'm sitting on my bed and like creating something. It's like you're basically faffing. So I would actually say like, keep going. You're actually doing amazing and it'll work out.
And look how it worked out.
At that time, like when you were just starting and everyone else around you was like working or like, you know, studying further, like did you get any like flack from the community or like family? Like what is she doing?
All the time. Like, what do you like? I remember I was shooting at Colaba Causeway and it was 8-9 p.m. and my dad was flipping out. He was just like, you're gonna get kidnapped or like you're not gonna come home. Like, this is just, I don't even know what you're doing. Because at that point I was like, I'm shooting, but I didn't really know how to work a camera, or I'm not like I've never done like journalism or like any form of like proper writing. It's just something I love doing and I've liked it. So many different like permutation combinations of this is like very not going to work out.
Yeah. And at what point did you feel that perception changed? Like then people were like, oh, she's actually built something.
I think the first time Forbes wrote about me, it was in 2016. Ambika wrote an article about me. And it was Forbes Asia. It was not Forbes India. So it was like for a larger audience. And that's the time we also published our first book.
Yeah.
And all of this happening was like 24. So I really didn't know. I still feel like in retrospect, like at that point, I didn't think it was a big deal. Now I'm like, dude, it was a pretty big deal. To self-publish a book at 24, figure it out. So that's what, like a lot of it is because we get our hands so dirty. So like now, like for example, when we were, we gifted MSD a book of all our army stories and it's beautifully curated. We like add an image of it. I knew everything, right? Because I know like from GSM of paper quality to like if you ever have to go out and actually sell it to the audience, you need an ISBN, that takes time. You need like I know the nitty-gritties of it because I've published a book or like we produce a podcast. So we understand the mechanics of every single department or we do sales in content creation. So we understand how sales work when it comes to the creator economy. Or we know what makes content stick because we've done it for 11 years. It's not, so we've always got in and got our hands dirty. We know how to create a course, like, course queen.
Let's buy the course.
Or like now, like we know how to create a film, like a short film, how to do that.
Yeah.
Shivam knows how to make coffee like mugs with logos on it really quickly, or paintings, or like we know how to create a set.
Yeah.
It's just it's just like such a varied
learn so
skill
much.
set of things that it's crazy.
Yeah. You see, you realize how many things we do. Yeah. How many verticals we are in. And the funniest thing is, whenever someone who's from the content industry walks in, and we recently had someone the other day who's a content creator or is in that ecosystem and they've just begun. Sorry for my language, उनकी जाती है. वो घुसते हैं और वो बोलते हैं इतने लोग लगते हैं क्या पॉडकास्ट चलाने के लिए. उनको समझाना पड़ता है नहीं भाई हम बहुत चीजें कर रहे हैं. हम कल जितनी चीजें कर रहे थे ना आज हम उसकी डबल कर रहे हैं.
But actually, if you count the number of things we've done in 2024, it's
You seem very passionate about this topic. Tell me, what else have you done in 2024?
because we were counting. Yes.
Okay,
बता
count,
दो,
let's
अपनी.
count.
There's Realign.
So we launched Realign,
Yeah.
which is
Listen.
2
our-
seasons of Realign.
Yeah, which is
No, wait.
Third season.
We started the year with a celebration of the 10-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody forgets that.
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
okay. So in Jan we did the 10 year.
year.
We finished 10 years of Humans of Bombay,
Yeah.
and we Chai was on us at like multiple
Locations
tea
in Bombay.
stalls in
Yeah.
Bombay. We did a film.
We had
hoardings.
billboards,
We
yeah.
had billboards celebrating the people who were part of our journey. So
First ever event. Offline
ever
event.
yeah, we had our first ever offline event
That
under
happened in
Realign.
Jan.
It happened in Jan.
Like literally 1 year. So Realign is where we break down the concepts of spirituality, science, and well-being, and we launched obviously the podcast, and that podcast lineup was also insane. So we had like Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar, we had the Zepto founders, we had Shikhar Dhawan, we had Sonali Bendre who's obviously
Yeah.
fought cancer. We've had like an insane lineup. So we
Karishma
launched an
Mehta.
entire new podcast entirely. And that's actually a top performing podcast,
Yeah.
100%. In 1 year.
Changed
Yeah.
the game for us, I think.
Yeah, it's a niche. It's
Yeah.
what people love the most about us.
Yeah. We obviously developed a course. It's called How to Tell Your Story. And then we will have another one that's launching in the new year as well. Now we know what to do and what not to do. What not to do is worry about it too much. Let's just wing it.
Figuring out what to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Then what else did we do? What else did we do?
Then Realign Pod.
Realign
We
Pod.
started a new page. We started.
Course. We did the course.
So many
We
things with
started
new
HOB
brands.
Studios.
We started HOB
Yeah.
We started
Studios.
HOB Studios where we finished the Bible and the conceptualization for 2 scripts that we can get into long format content. What else? Bas, na?
So many brands we have worked
Yeah,
with.
so many brands, so many brand films.
Campaigns, yeah.
Brands.
All this alongside the usual work we do.
Yeah.
हाँ, वो तो
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Pretty
So
crazy.
big year, right?
We did our
Like,
first Realign offline event for manifestation.
That was
That
Jan.
we finished.
spoke about.
Rashi, clearly you are also not
Don't
paying
know.
attention in the
I don't
podcast.
think we said.
She said it.
कोई बात नहीं.
So, an amazing year, I think. Big year, amazing year. But what's been the most challenging thing this year for you? Like
This year, because generally तो
this
हमें
year.
पता है.
Generally-
We've all gone through it.
Yeah.
But this year.
This year.
Just figuring out how to pivot. So we are a services company and we will be a product company. And just figuring out the right product, figuring out the need for the product. We've done like 100+ calls and growing with people from within the community on what they want to actually see and will it add value to their lives. Value is a big keyword. So just that understanding that this is not scalable in that sense, everything
Yeah.
that we're currently doing, but I love what we're currently doing, but we will add that dimension as the only thing different that we will do in 2025.
I have a follow-up here because these are 2 things that I've learned the most from you in my time here, right? One is the audacity to dream big,
Yeah.
right? A lot of times you're in the room and you say things that we think like, "अरे इतना बड़ा कैसे करेंगे?"
Yeah.
But there is not a sliver of doubt when you say it, and it happens. So that's one thing I've learned, that you have to believe it to make it happen. And the second is the ability to quickly pivot, like you said. Be open to new ideas and be like, हाँ अभी तक हम ये कर रहे थे. This is the this is the DNA of our being. You're going to tweak it from tomorrow, and you're okay about it.
Yeah.
How did you develop these 2 qualities, and how do they help you, or are they the bane of your existence
No, it's
every day?
because it's just running a business and a bootstrap business is really, I'm not like saying that it's something that like it deserves awards or anything, but genuinely anybody who runs their own business will tell you it's a really hard job. So you have to be on top of like 100 things at the same time. And also now my time obviously has largely been divided this year behind the cameras or in the conference room and in front of the camera, and to pivot from going from engaging a conversation to running into a phone call or a meeting, which has happened so many times, you just have to be a little bit wired. So
Yeah.
I'm wired.
Do you ever feel scared as the sole founder? Do you feel scared?
I only feel scared when you come and say there is a problem, and I'm like, now what has happened that I need to resolve? Yeah.
But do you think these are qualities every entrepreneur should look at?
Yeah, because you have to have the ability to pivot, because the way our world is structured, traditionally there are 3 or 4 institutions that will continue to remain the way they are and continue because they're age old. But otherwise, everything is just constantly shifting and moving. The way we consume content, the way we create content is just so different from what it was even like 2 years ago. So you have to be able to pivot and you have to be able to dream big.
True.
No, but on a serious note, is it scary?
It is. It is. Yeah. Audit time is very scary. Anybody who can take my place during audit and go and sit with Shailesh bhai.
Shout out to Shailesh bhai.
Please, just like I just find myself making ridiculous excuses, being like, like no, I'm really busy, and I'm like chilling. I'll come tomorrow.
Now we know.
Yeah. No, I don't think he watches. No. He's just like, I'm interested in the numbers. Do what you want.
He's oblivious to how the numbers come.
Yeah.
Challenge has the most important.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I have a question for you and for the full panel. What is one part about your job that you absolutely hate?
You start.
Which one, Nancy?
I know it.
You know it?
Yeah.
What I hate about it.
Hate is a strong word,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
it's challenging.
Like maybe dislike or something. So of course we do sales, so we are working with a lot of brands, and you continuously want to do better and you continuously want to do more as well. But sometimes that gets a little challenging because you're also like solving for existing things or trying to do more. So I think that continuously pushing yourself and the full team to go for the next one, this is done, move on. It sometimes is a little hard.
Nancy's, what she's communicating and what she's thinking are like this and this. I can guarantee it.
No, seriously.
like we have been the most challenged in the last 3 days.
That I can't comment.
That's what I'm saying. What you're thinking and what you're saying.
Wow, diplomatic. I hate the fact that, and it's not this company, it's the media industry, it turns you from an optimist to a cynic. You realize a lot of things you see in the public eye is doctored. It is not what it is. And here, what I like is we don't play into that. We don't, it doesn't matter if we don't get the views, doesn't matter if we don't grow at that pace, we won't doctor things. But that, I think, is being very difficult to, hard pill to swallow, that जैसी चीज़ें दिखती हैं वैसी होती नहीं है. And being introduced to the crisis management in PR, I think that's not been something I've dreamt of or wanted in life, but वो भी हो गया है. So I think those have been
about this year.
those have been
That's gone.
but those have been difficult things.
So I think it's only with editing when people
I thought
call
you know
and
everything
say,
about this job. That's what I heard. How sudden.
no, only editing, like app, course, everything is great.
What about you, the one who asked the question?
Yeah.
I think like because like it's really sad and I hate talking to people, but I have to talk to so many people in a day. It's really irritating, and like also tantrums. I work a lot with the guests, so every variation of tantrum is just, it can go from here to nothing, but like mostly it's here. Like things like when people, like one guest shows up with 20 people
Yeah.
and like,
We're not gonna get guests next. Keep talking.
Or we will just edit Rashi out of the podcast
yes, yeah, let me check.
for the company to continue running.
This is the final.
What about you? Apart from hair and makeup, what do you hate about this job?
I don't. Hate is too strong a word.
Dislike.
Yeah.
Lowest on your list of likeness.
Hate, I think, is
Or like get irritated.
it's too public. It's just like you have to be okay with the garbage. Sometimes people just say and be like, yeah, but
Yeah.
cool. It's your opinion, your life. We'll move on. So yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Makes me think about so many things right now.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to add something that they...
Mossy.
Oh, Mohsin wants to add. Guts. All right.
मेरा एक सवाल है.
Asha.
Wait, Mosam, what do you dislike about your job?
What?
What do you hate about your job?
Nothing.
Shivam is the only head of department that has trained well.
हाई KM, हाई टीम. मेरा ये सवाल था, करिश्मा, आपने इतने बड़े बड़े इंटरव्यूज़ किए हैं, पॉलिटिशियंस, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, सेलिब्रिटीज़, हम उन्हें कब लेके आ रहे हैं?
हम उन्हें
उन्हें कब लेके आ रहे हैं?
Mohsin, only.
The god.
द वन एंड ओनली शाहरुख खान.
we'll manifest it. No?
Collective manifestation.
Yeah.
Shah Rukh Khan, if you're watching this, please come for Mohsin.
Yeah.
He is watching.
No. Huh. We'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Let's all individually talk about our funniest moments this year. Funniest moments this year.
And let's actually open it up.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Everybody can like.
Like funniest moments with KM or
No,
just
no,
in general?
Like with
Funniest
game or
moments in Humans of Bombay.
yeah.
Oh.
I think this office single-handedly has the most psychotic stories that I can think of. Like when we sit in rooms and have a conversation.
You mean fun?
Yeah.
Fun stories. I'm telling you, I'll have to edit you out of the podcast.
Fun
Things
stories
like this. Your anecdote.
with KM.
Yeah. Please tell us when you
It was
were
about
supposed
to
to be in Bombay but ended up in a different city.
Okay, I will tell it in the cleanest way possible. So,
Yeah.
we had a very
started.
important guest who we have now all woken up at 6 a.m. to come to World to shoot. So, we are all getting ready, we are leaving. We get a call from 6 a.m. and this is a guest we can't say no to. So, they're like, cancel Worli. Now you come to Nashik. So, suddenly at 7 a.m., everyone is being ushered into a car. Karishma's hair and makeup is not done. So, at 180 speed, she's doing her hair and makeup.
Not by myself. Somebody
Somebody
else.
else is doing
Yeah.
it.
She wasn't driving and doing her hair and makeup.
Like that guy is falling off, Karishma is falling off,
Yeah.
I'm falling off.
Oh, and he was very traumatized.
He was. And we had to reach Nashik in 3 hours. It takes 4 hours to reach Nashik. So you can imagine. Now that car has been given specific instructions.
But we stopped for pav bhaji on the way.
you have? I can't
But we stopped because we were very
Sorry.
hungry.
And we have reached. Now I have left to come to Worli.
In Crocs.
in Crocs.
In Crocs.
In my pink tie-dye Crocs. And when we reached Nashik, we were told, we're not shooting in Nashik. We have been ushered into a private plane. I have no ID. We have nothing to our
There
name.
was no seat. Forget ID.
There was no seat.
There was no seat. So imagine like जैसे train में you just push people.
Yeah.
So we're taking off.
Shivam is sitting on the table. Someone is holding it. The plane like a bus.
And the makeup artist while reaching said, मैं plane में नहीं बैठूंगा.
And between all of this, these people are flying in the car, and I have called KM for the brand something, some big brand situation. And Karishma's like, yeah, I'm talking to you, but my liner's happening. I said, okay. And then Rashi screaming from the back, and the makeup artist was screaming.
He fell.
After that, he has never come back.
Yeah,
So
that was the first and last day.
Yeah.
And then we thought, okay, maybe we'll do the shoot in the plane. No, the plane took off. And then we asked, okay, where are we going? And they're like, we don't know. Somewhere. And then the guests left the plane.
We landed somewhere and everybody except the humans of Bombay team has exited the plane. So then we are on our own plane
We are
Going where?
going to another location.
Yeah. And then they just put us in a hotel, and then we realized not a room, but the hotel was booked for us, our shoot.
Yeah.
And then after all of that, the shoot didn't happen.
And we returned back.
No, you can't return back. There was a moment when both of you decided to go to the beauty parlor.
Yeah, oh my god, we decided to go to the salon because everything was a mess. And it was a really important
I mean, yeah.
interview.
At one point, after so many
Also,
scams here, it's
No, so Rashi has reached there and started telling somebody who's sitting there saying that how can you not know how to do a blow dry or something really like random. And like just like gone on this girl because like she was in such a panic. And then this woman is like, but I'm a customer here. I don't work here. I don't do anything, but I do it.
आप इतना प्रेशर डाल रहे हो मैं कर लूंगी.
Rashi put so much pressure on
It
you.
was to fix my sari because by then my sari was everywhere. And then a customer at the salon.
yeah.
has helped
She
her.
didn't tell me. She was like, after everything, I was like, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. मैं तो facial कराने आई थी. But guys, you have to understand, this salon is in a town where that is the only salon in that entire town. It is the middle of nowhere.
So I was just like, I'm sorry, we really troubled you. Like we
tipped them. We tipped them
we did
very well.
everything, and then we went
Yeah.
back, and then we ordered food,
Yeah.
and then we again ate. And then at around midnight, we realized ki, oh, this is not happening only.
Yeah.
So now what do we do? And we started looking like, we're like,
Yeah.
are
Then we're like, how will we go home?
back? Like,
There's no, and this is not an accessible town. It's the middle of nowhere. We have no idea. And then the guy calls eventually. He says, come, I'll drop you home in my plane.
so then we got on, and we landed, and then we went
At
home
3
and
a.m.
slept.
Yeah.
And the team in Bombay had no idea about all of this.
हाँ.
I was also a part of that team in Bombay. So next day I called KM thinking that, okay, it must be like, it went well and all. She's like, we didn't shoot. I was like, you went to some other state and you didn't shoot and come back and came back also.
हम गेड़ी मारने गए थे प्लेन में.
Yeah, we
वापस आ
had
गए.
full mercy. They left. They gave us the plane. We were playing music. We are eating. We are chilling.
It was Shivam's
third year anniversary.
That's how we celebrate anniversary as a human
Yeah.
Bombay.
It was
Fantastic.
That was
Anyone-
the fun.
Yeah.
it was fun.
Anyone else wants to add an anecdote of this level?
Stuti should have some really funny
I
story.
can't say it.
On camera.
On camera.
अरे यार इतनी चीजें एडिट करेंगे पॉडकास्ट बचेगी नहीं यहाँ पर. ये दो पॉडकास्ट बनेंगे, एक जो हम डालेंगे, एक जो इंटरनल व्यूइंग के लिए होगी. Then we'll do the section that we have for you, where Stuti wants to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Most rocking segment.
One second, what is this segment?
Nancy's like, this is out of syllabus.
We have anyway not used that.
हाँ, नहीं, this is Stuti's section.
Okay.
Okay, this is the rapid fire segment. There are 2 rules.
Oh.
You have to be rapid and there has to be lots of fire.
Wow, I never thought saw that
क्या
coming.
ओरिजिनल लाइन मारी है यार शुक्ला.
Your answers have to be like smoking hot.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and you have like 2 seconds for every answer.
Please, yeah. This is like too much pressure.
You do
Okay.
this for the guests.
Never. When? Nobody answers anything.
So we can add this now in the next one. Okay, first one. Favorite podcast of the year?
Dhoni.
Guest who surprised you the most?
Vidyut Jamwal.
A story that made you cry recently?
Bipul Sinha, who made his way from Bihar. He didn't have money to buy IIT books. To today, he's listed on Nasdaq and has a 5,000 crore company. His journey is just unreal. It's insane.
Okay, describe your team in 3 words.
Mad, passionate, and super hardworking.
3 content creators whose content you really love.
Since she's introduced me to this rebel kid.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like addictive content. So watch that. There's this one son and mother duo. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, we know.
Where it's mad funny videos where
Yeah,
she
yeah.
just keeps like slapping him.
We saw this yesterday, no?
So I find them insanely funny.
Okay, last one. Your favorite rumor about yourself?
There's no favorite. Like the rumors are just ridiculous.
Okay, the most random rumor you feel that's
That I'm dating another podcaster.
Wait,
And I
what?
was like,
What?
know that.
and apparently we've taken some holiday together. And I've not even seen this person in like, and then like he happened to post some carousel where he's blurred somebody who he's seeing. And everybody just thought it was me. And I was getting messages from my friends saying, you didn't tell me. I said, tell you what? That?
All right, we have some more questions.
If Humans of Bombay was a movie, who would play Karishma Mehta?
Anne Hathaway. Dude, that would be my dream. Like, I would be like,
Imagine.
wow, it's
I
like
can-
my life come in full circle.
Okay, one office tradition you love and one you think is absolutely unnecessary.
One I love is when everybody eats lunch together. I really enjoy that. One that is unnecessary.
Everyone eats lunch together for 2 hours.
Or like, we have a lot of codependence in this office. I feel like, have you realized that if somebody wants to say something to me, like 5-7 people will come together. And I'm like, why is it a school bus? Like, just give me what I need to know. It's like, like, हम झुंड में चलते हैं.
We just love each other too much.
Yeah, this.
ग्रुप बना के चलो मुझे
Yeah,
कोई डर नहीं है
group
कि मैं डर रहा हूँ.
Yeah.
So, since you mentioned Google, we have this fun section of things we couldn't find about you on Google. So now, since you're on the other side, we're going to take full advantage, and there are a couple of questions we want to know. Right? What was life like before Humans of Bombay?
Boring.
Ah.
It's very boring.
Okay. Now, on a bad day, what cheers you up?
Honestly, just the sight of my bed, because I'm just so tired. I'm like, I just want to sleep and get over it and just wake up tomorrow morning.
Fair. One thing that you don't really enjoy but have to do it as part of the job or just for the internet.
Audit.
Categorical. Fair. If your Spotify playlist were to be released, what would be your most played song and what would be one song you wouldn't want people to know you're listening to?
So that Zayn song, which is Tu Hai Kaha. Tu Hai Kaha? Yeah, that's probably my most listened to. This one I asked, Jitesh, which one? I asked you to play Alexa that day. Which one? Song? Which song did we play on Alexa? Tu Hai Kaha. No. Then that Shahid Kapoor song. What's it called? लाल पीली आंखें.
Oh. मुझे लगा आप कोई भोजपुरी गाना वाना बजाओगे. We will break into song and dance. All right. Who's one woman entrepreneur who truly inspires you?
Sara Blakely or Kiran Mazumdar Shaw. One of the two.
What's your vision for 2025 for Humans of Bombay?
I just want to launch this app. Put
Fair. All right, that was that. That brings us to the last section of the podcast, which is the audience questions. All right, guys, take it away. Let's go.
Hi, Karishma. Karishma, as we know, like storytelling as a format has been celebrated over the years in the course of history. What do you think you did right to crack this format of storytelling so that millions of people connect with our stories? And my second question is that can you recollect one of the most outrageous, craziest stories somebody has ever narrated to you so that they can be published in HOB?
So storytelling, I think what we do differently is that we still manage to keep it raw and authentic, but in a way that's narrated and packaged really well. So a lot of times people tell us that I don't need to know that this is my story because you've written it so well. So I think it's because of that. And what is an outrageous story that somebody, Stuti has just told me that somebody has murdered few people. Murdered? Tha? Ki went to jail.
Murderer.
And let's do a podcast.
Yes, please.
And she's like, I'm getting scared to not reply to him because kuch bhi kar sakta hai. So I was like, please do get these people who can do anything on
Be a fun
the
podcast. Different perspective.
Yeah. Outrageous story.
So hi, so you have interviewed so many people from Bollywood. So did you get any offer from them to be in a movie?
Never. Kuch bhi. Never.
Would you consider it?
No. I can't. I write on business. No. No. It's acting. It's good.
Hair and makeup
You
every day.
Huh?
Hair and makeup every day.
That's all. No, I'm very happy with HOB.
So my question is, it's very basic. Just tell us about a day in your life.
So now, I used to first have a routine. But now Rashi sometimes puts shoots at 9 in the morning.
Rashi, man.
And I have to start hair and makeup at 7. So then my workout also goes for a toss. Basically, you're the bane of my existence.
One day we shot at 7 a.m. So we had to wake up at 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
One day we shot at 7:30, 7 a.m. No, 7:30 hair and...
No, we were in the office at 7.
No, we
You were in hair and
supposed to start
makeup.
at 7. Then the guests came an hour and a half late, and
late.
we wanted to
And I
function.
had literally, it was dark. And Raj and Didi have walked into my house at 5. And I was like, dude. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
But
And after all of this also, he was late.
yeah. And then, and then I come to office. And then I just go with it. Because you don't know what's going to come up, where, how. Rashi will come with some list that has changed 100 times since the previous day. And then you deal with that. And then you talk about what's working on Instagram, what's working on LinkedIn. Then we'll solve business issues. Then Shivam will come and ask me for money. I'll say no. Then there'll be a back and forth for 3 days.
It's basically like local train की भीड़.
Yeah.
आप आके ऑफिस में खड़े हो जाओ, लोग ले जाएंगे आपको जहाँ लेके जाना है.
Hi Karishma. So since we love the number 3 at Humans of Bombay, and yesterday only we completed 183 episodes on our YouTube channel. So tell me your top 3 episodes that you love and tell me why they're on your list.
So Shmita Sen, because she's just epic and she's just amazing. And she just, when you embody, I just don't care. Like, I'm going to do me, I think her. I really enjoyed the conversation with Zepto founders. Like, they were so Gen Z, but not Gen Z. It was shocking. Like, it was like they're so young, and the way they think and the way they still are like very, they're still like kids and running like a unicorn. Like, it's insane. Definitely one of my favorite episodes. And I really enjoy our spiritual content also. So I liked my episode with Gaur Gopal Das ji. I really thought that it added a lot of value in my life, and it continues to be an episode that every month viewers come and watch on our platform. So yeah.
Shivam Maurya.
Sure, you know so much importance to us.
I'm surprised the number of times my names are there in this podcast. So I'm going to cut a clip out of it.
Yeah.
I think sure.
Self-importance.
Yeah, self-importance. Okay. So I have 2 questions. Okay. Suppose in a span of 15 minutes, the content team comes with a problem with you, and then the brand team comes, and the design and production teams. Like in a span of 15 minutes, all things can happen. Like you have to handle different things
This is not
in this.
shocking, it happens.
It happens. It happens every day. So how do you deal with that? Okay? Like dealing with multiple problems at the same time, and like how do you handle that?
See, my design problem is you. So when you come and say money, I just say no. That's easy. That's simple. With Nancy, I'm like, let's just boil it down to what is in our control at this point. Because most things are not, as we have realized. So then we just work towards the known,
Whatever best we can
do, and then leave it. Just, it's okay.
फिर हो जाएगा कुछ.
And what are your problems?
It's varied.
And तुम बताओ problem क्या नहीं है? वो जल्दी खत्म होगा.
And you are the problem half the time. So then with Stuti, it's different. It's a different experience. Because sometimes the problem is that I couldn't answer the call because my phone is in a rice bowl in the middle of the day.
It's not even a rice bowl, it's a packet of rice
Yeah.
that she's
Or
carrying around.
sometimes it's like I got robbed in Goa,
Yeah.
but the robber left 20 rupees for me to get back safely. Then sometimes Stuti comes, talks, I have not said a word, and she leaves. So she's arrived at the problem, she's arrived at the solution, all by herself. And I'm furniture. I'm just listening, and then she goes.
Sometimes I just rant.
Yeah, sometimes she comes. Then there's,
It's
then
very
she'll
need.
say, it's, I don't know, you know, what happens. Then the leave ka thing will come. I want to go to Goa. All my friends are going. It's more parenting. Like, don't get more tattoos. At least think little
My
bit.
mom will see this.
Good. She should see it. Because once when Suti was in Thailand, the guy just gave her an offer saying that if you get 2, I'll give you a discount. So Suti, who had gone in to get 0 tattoos, has come out with 2 tattoos, which are both so irrelevant.
That's so cute.
In
It's
the-
a dolphin.
One is a dolphin on one side and there are waves on the other side. Why couldn't the dolphin and the waves just be together?
Because she had to get 2 tattoos.
Like, yeah.
So, second question, okay. So, whenever you are sitting in the middle of office in that conference room and like, you know, there's this whole chaos going on, like people are, like the beautiful chaos which is going every day, okay. Good word, I'm just trying to use good words, okay. Okay. So, when you see that thing, like when you sit alone and like you just observe the thing which is going around, what's that one thing that comes in your mind looking at the team and looking at you, yourself?
It's just like nothing shocks me. Like if I'm looking out, like sometimes you both are fighting, then I can see there's some music playing at the background, and basis the music play, I can gauge what the vibe is. You know, like what are people feeling or thinking. Then suddenly you will hear a lot of laughter and something. Then suddenly people will clap.
Okay, that's all, guys. Anyone?
I have some fun ones because nobody asked any fun ones. It's fine.
Chal na.
Okay, let's go. Quick.
काम भी है.
Okay. What is your favorite form of Sasti Masti?
What does that mean?
Sasti Masti.
What does that mean?
Like cheap thrill.
What's cheap thrills?
Sasti Masti.
Guilty pleasure.
No, cheap thrill.
What cheap thrills? Like, give me an example.
Vada pav.
Oh, yeah.
I know you
Yesterday
love
only I
vada
had vada pav. Yeah.
Vada pav and
Kiti
chai.
vada pav chai.
Now I have to give you another answer.
I watch a lot of YouTube content. Like, I'm very stressed about people seeing my YouTube history. Because I watch, like, really random things. And, like, I go into, like, a deep, dark hole. And, like, I watch everything. So, that's my guilty. Like, I go home and, like, I watch YouTube sometimes.
Fun.
The last question of the podcast, which is almost customary to ask, is the advice question. Your advice to people who are down in life, your advice to people who are struggling, your advice to people who want to do something big in their life, your advice to people generally.
Okay. So I just think that what I've learned is that don't take it all too seriously, because at that point the problem seems massive, but like when you just distance yourself away from it, it automatically becomes small. And like, it's a bad day, it's not a bad life. I always say this, or it's a string of bad days, not a bad life. And just don't take it all too seriously. Be in the flow and life will flow to you.
Fantastic. With that, guys, for 2024, it's a wrap.
Woo! Thank you for being the best community, and we'll see you in the next one.